And for more on the Emerson border crossings and other political headlines, we're joined by political consultant Michael Geoghegan. He is in Victoria. So, Michael, Public Safety Minister Ralph Goodale was in Emerson today. Like we said, he did promise that $30,000 in initial funding, extra funding for those groups that have been helping. But we're seeing some growing frustration in Emerson as well. They appear to be overwhelmed by this influx of people. Can you give us your take on the minister's visit today? Was it too late?
Well, I don't think it was too late. It was good to see the minister there. And I mean, $30,000 is a drop in the bucket. But, you know, right now we're seeing a trickle. This could turn into a flood, you know, come the springtime. And we're not talking about just the water backing up due to the spring weather. We're talking about, you know, a flood of people who fear for their safety, fear for being sent back to the countries which they fled. And so, you know, Trudeau has been very clear on saying that they're following, Canada's following a different strategy in the United States that's going to attract a lot of these people to come to Canada, cross illegally, and then file refugee status here in Canada.
Do you think that there could be some political blowback, though, for continuing to allow more and more people through Canada, through that border with the U.S.?
I think if we got to see the kind of numbers that they've experienced in Europe, then absolutely there would be blowback. I think however, if we're still seeing numbers that we're able to manage, then we won't. And critical in terms of avoiding that blowback is the federal government making sure that there are adequate resources given to these frontline communities, be they in Manitoba, Quebec, or wherever, to make sure that these people are being, you know, dealt with and processed efficiently. And I think that will help keep, and also being vetted. And I think that will help keep security concerns on both sides of the border at a reasonable level.
Okay, and just a couple provinces over from Manitoba, both Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Conservative interim leader Rona Ambrose were in Calgary campaigning for their candidates in the by-elections there. Now, Calgary is trying to fill 2 seats that were left vacant by Stephen Harper and Jason Kenney. How do you see those ridings go since the last election we saw such a huge Conservative wave there?
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, obviously it's replacing Stephen Harper and Jason Kenney. Obviously, if the Liberals were to pick up one or both of these seats, that would be a huge gain for them. The Liberals are still clearly in first place in the polls nationally, but they've certainly come down from their post-election honeymoon period. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not Trudeau's recent announcements regarding pipelines and whatnot will curry favor with Alberta voters. And as he is able to legitimately say, hey, I delivered on a pipeline so you can get your product to market, which Prime Minister Harper was never able to do. So whether or not Albertans respond favorably or do their traditional thing and vote Conservative, we'll soon find out.
Okay, we will soon find out. Political consultant Michael Geoghegan in Victoria joining us this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.